want to share with you my favorite ways of cooking pizzas at home. There are 5 different style of pizzas I love, pretty much the same way. And I want you to love them the same way I do. So here are my top 5 pizzas that I want you to make at home. The first pizza is the Roman pizza, the pizza in pala. And this is how you make a fantastic pizza in pala. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are making pizza in pala, a classic, authentic pizza from Rome. It's like your New York style pizza, but the real deal from Italy. It's crunchier, it's thinner, and it's full of flavors. 80% water, light in your belly, full of yummy, sensational flavors, made by Marco, the artisan, the pizza maker.
So let's get it started. We start from the biga. What is the biga actually? The biga is a pre-ferment, is a starter, is a natural starter. So we're gonna use our flour, our ciabatta romana, which is a premix studied by Le Cinque Stagioni to have the perfect recipe for the pizza in pala alla romana. Okay, let's start with 1.5 kilo of flour mix, 900 milliliter of water, and 10 grams of dry yeast. So let's start to put together the yeast. And slowly we add the water. Basically the biga as a pre-ferment, and as I say, the pizza in pala is like more close to the bread, is actually close to the ciabatta, because it will be thicker. So biga is a pre-ferment and comes from the world of the baker. And my biga is ready. And then we stock it in the fridge. We let our biga rest for 24 hours on a deep container in the cool room with enough space to proof. That's the kind of bucket I usually use, a high one, and that's the biga following day. You cannot smell it, but it's so strong. And now let's see how the gluten is made. And that's our gluten developed on the biga. Now it's alive, it's ready to be fed again. So let's start from the wholemeal flour on our mixer. We had the yeast. I'm adding the biga now. The reason why I'm using wholemeal flour, it's more fiber, more smell, like everything is better on the wholemeal. Plus it absorbs more water, so it's easier to reach the 80% of water thanks to the wholemeal as well. So I'm just gonna add a bit of water now. Not gonna add all of the water. I'm just adding a tiny bit at the beginning and then half of that on the way while mixing. And we had as well the 40 grams of rock salt. So we just let the mixer start. Now it will be a long process because we have to reach the 80% of water. So this one is the hardest part because you need to wait, you need to add the last half of the water slowly. You don't have to rush and put the whole water together. You need to wait until the dough slowly incorporate the water. So slowly now there is no more flour around the bowl, so we just add a tiny bit of water slowly. You see, I'm not gonna give all the water at the same time, but slowly add a bit of water. Okay, now we just add all the water. We just double check the temperature. All right, we got 24 degrees. I'm just gonna finish with a touch of extra virgin olive oil, 40 grams. And then once the dough will absorb the last 40 grams of oil, we just take it out. So you see the dough is ready. It's really nice and soft.
Elastic.
I
like that.
Now what I do, I just wet my hand with a bit of water and I do like the bakers. Slowly I take out and I put in a deep container.
And how long do we have to rest now this dough?
The dough rests for 1 hour. Once we will do bulk fermentation,
yes,
we're gonna shape it into pizza. In 650 grams.
Pizza, but it's a long rectangular pizza. That's how you make the real Roman pizza, guys. So what's happening now, Marco?
So now after 1 hour, as we say, the dough is proofed, is twice, And now we're gonna do the final shape before the last proving.
So that's how you tell when it's ready, when it grows.
Exactly.
Oh, so you need to mark it all the time.
Exactly.
Right,
I got a sign where, like from there, I need to wait until it's double.
Okay, that's a good technique to use.
Now we throw it on the flour because we want to cut and shape.
And what flour do we use?
I got a semolina rimacinata, so it's a milled twice. It's very thin, it's not so thick as a normal durum semolina. Okay, it's time now to cut and shape. To cut, I'm gonna use this big scissor, which is my friend. It's very easy with the big scissor to cut it. You see, just pick it up and cut. And weight some balls of 600 grams for a roughly a half-meter pizza. You can play a bit with the weight of the dough, depends of how thick you want. If you want it thin and crispy, you need to add less. If you want more thick, you need to increase the weight of the ball. I personally recommend 600 grams for the half meter, let's say, between 600 and 650, and 1 kilo, 1.2 for the meter one. Okay, now we move into a bit of flour, just put it on the semolina, and now what we do, we just bend it inside, like this, to give a round shape. Then we turn it upside down and we adjust. Here we go.
Like a mozzarella. Oh no.
Pretty much like a
panino.
bread. It's like a focaccia bread. It's not gonna be perfectly round, but it's going to be a bit long. Okay, now we let these balls prove, and the dough will be ready. We stuck on a trays, and the dough will be ready when it's 3 times the size of the beginning. All right, now that the dough is ready, we start stretching. We just need to put a bit of flour on top and cut. And now is the time to turn this upside down on the flour. So we will expand the flour all the way, and we have to turn this one upside down. Put a bit of flour on top as well. Flour will be our friend now because it's helping.
Semolina again.
Semolina, yes, of course. Because it's our friend. It's gonna help us not to be sticky. So we're gonna put it as well on the wooden board. And now is the time to start. What I'm gonna do, I need to put it like flour, always, and start as a light massage on the dough. And then we go on the pedal. Again, from here, you're gonna choose the size of the pizza. I want a big one, you can make it big and will be more thin. If I want nice and puffy, I make it a bit smaller. Now we just add a tiny bit of extra virgin olive oil on top, and we will make a few holes on the dough just to stop the proving into the oven. And now it's time to go into the oven. So what we do now, we just par bake the dough. Because we have a lot of water into our dough, what we will do, we par bake. So we just develop the gluten, we create the gluten, then we take it out from the oven, and we finish with the rest of the ingredients. The temperature will be in between the 250 and the 300 degrees because I want to dry out that water from the dough. So the good thing is that you can do it at home on a domestic oven that you can reach 250 degrees. That's why at home we usually do a mistake. We put everything on top, we put it into the oven and we cook it for 15 minutes. So everything on top will be burnt, will be dry, but the dough is still raw. A par bake is always a solution at home. If you have a wood fire oven at home, you just bring up to 300 degrees to 80 degrees. Then you need to par bake without flames or with a very low flame. Dry out the amount of water for 3-4 minutes. Par bake for 3-4 minutes. When the dough starts to be brown, we take it out and we finish with all the toppings. I cook it completely. I didn't par bake this one because I want a nice focaccia. Just put a tiny bit of salt on top, like salt. Boy, it's time to cut.
Oh, look at that. So that's what you want, yeah?
Exactly. That's what I want. A nice and puffy here, but at the same time, crispy. Now we do a classic margarita with this one.
You know what's happening right now, Marco?
No.
This is the most important part of the day. Because
So?
we get to eat.
Oh, which is perfect.
That's why I come back into the picture. I can tell already it's tasty. But let's try it. It's a light pizza, Marco.
But it's full of taste.
But it's full of flavors, yes. The second pizza you must make, it's a Napolitan pizza made with dry yeast. Dry yeast is easy to find and anyone can make it. So this is how you make it. This is a Napolitan pizza made with dry yeast, yes. And this is Johnny from Gradi. He's an award-winning, award-based pizza chef. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, how are you?
He made Napolitan pizza before for us.
Yep.
And now it's back here to do it with the dry yeast.
Okay, so we're going to start off now. There's a couple of ways we can do this. We can either start off with the water and the yeast, or we can start off with the flour and the yeast. Now, this is entirely up to you. I like starting off with the water and the yeast first. So I'm going to place water into my bowl, and I will then place the yeast straight into the water. Now we've got to give this a little bit of a mix. What we're going to do is we're just going to activate the yeast, and you can see the water is going to start changing color. At this stage, we start adding some of your flour. So again, same principle, about 10 to maximum 20% of your mass. And we're going to create like a pancake or a crepe mix. Really easy, just let the flour drop into the bowl like raindrops. As it's falling in there, what we're doing is we're just passing oxygen through the air before it hits the mix, which is just a little handy tip. Okay, so now at this stage, as you can see, my dough is starting to form. This is where I start to add my salt into the product. And so again, why do we do this? Is we're separating the yeast and the salt. We say that they don't like each other, so we want to separate. So this is where I start to now really mix in the salt. And as you can see, it's going to just amalgamate, it'll dissolve because my dough is still quite moist. As you can see, I've still got some flour, so I'm going to continue adding, and this is where I really start to work my dough. As we start seeing the dough form, I will then turn it onto the bench. Really, really important, because this is where we get all our muscles into it. It's starting to form. This is where I turn it onto the bench. This is where Vincenzo starts laughing at me, because he knows the next steps are going to be really difficult. Keep the flour in front of the dough and knead into it. We want the dough to accept the flour as you require. Don't add it on top. I always knead into the dough and just let it absorb a little bit at a time. My dough, I think, and I'm hoping from some of my experience, is actually going to be ready to rest. Now, have a look at this dough. Right, now a couple of different ways on how we can tell whether our dough is ready, and this is so important, is we can actually just push down and see the spring. If a spring's back up, this is a really old traditional technique that we can use. The other perfect technique is using a temperature probe. And there we have it, 23.1 degrees. Now, okay, so Vincenzo, our dough is ready, and now we let it rest. We need to let it rest for at least 2 hours on the bench. The most simplest way and the most efficient way to do this is just get a damp cloth and place it over the dough and just let it rest now for 2 hours. Let's reveal. Look at that, it's changed already in structure. You can see all these little spots on the dough. That's called the maturity. Now, making pizza balls, I generally just lightly flour, not too much. Now, there's a few different ways that I can demonstrate. One is very traditional technique, and this is, I call it the baker's technique. So on the bench, we roll, so these 3 fingers fold the dough underneath. The thumb just guides through the cavity of my thumb and my finger, and we have a dough ball. Another technique, one that I've been using pretty much since I started making pizzas when I was 12, is these 3 fingers fold, these 3 fingers guide. So I fold into the bottom of the dough and I keep rotating the dough, and I'm rotating anti-clockwise like that. And then at this point I put both my hands together and I rub like I have an ice cream cone or a cone in my hand. And there we go, we have another dough ball. Place them into a tightly sealed container. Again, just keeping them, you know, quite spaced out. That way we don't, we don't have them sticking together. And then the next day it's really easy to take out. You'll find they should grow up in volume, which is what we want to achieve. And we keep this in now for at least 2 hours. 2 to 4 hours, again, outside the fridge. Now, I'm gonna explain to you, and also covered with another lid. All right, so we got our dough. This dough has not seen any refrigeration at all. It is straight from an ambient environment.
That's semolina, isn't it?
Yes.
So you use semolina to stretch a pizza?
Yep. So put a bit of semolina.
That's our refined semolina.
Very refined. Now, when we're stretching the dough, we start an inch in from the bottom. We work our way to an inch. We want to entrap everything, right? Everything with our fingers. So from the bottom, flat fingered, not pointing down, just really gentle. Look, I don't need to do much work. 1, turn it over. Again, just gentle. 2, 1 more time. 3, done. At this stage, we're gonna stretch our dough. 1 hand in, so not on the crust, inside the crust. 3 fingers on the bottom, touching there, these 2 fingers together. We stretch, we come over, hold it at our forearm and come back. We do it again, same position, stretch, come over, back. Now, when you're doing it, that's the technique, okay? It's just practice, nothing more. We have our pizza round. We're gonna put our tomato, always in the center and always going around. We're leaving the crust without any sauce. Now you can put the mozzarella or the basil first. It's entirely up to you. We're cooking fast, so it doesn't really matter. If you're cooking in an oven at home, maybe you'd want to put the basil on the bottom. I love my basil. It's entirely up to you how much you put, but I absolutely love my basil, so I'll just put that. And then we put our oil. We come in from the center and we go around all the way. Now, Vincenzo, you're going to give me a hand on this. When we're using Neapolitan pizza, all I need you to do is hold that for me there.
Yeah, oh wow.
Right, and what we do is we get our pizza, 3 fingers on the bottom, and we guide onto the peel, just like that. And we try and not touch it too many times. 1, 2, and then here, 3, into a circle. And we go into the oven. When we go into the oven, we pick our point where we want to place the pizza. There, and 1 flick out. That's it. We don't do any of this. Don't do this. Don't do that, because you get the pizza stuck on the base. So just there, and it's a flick of a wrist. Done. Also, another really important tip, you'll find that I try and keep the pizza cooking on the base for as long as possible. This is really important. A lot of people, when they're cooking in the wood fire oven on a high temperature, you see them that they lift the pizza all the time. We call that in Napoli pizza vampata, which means it's a pizza that's been cooked faster than what we really want to. You can see I leave it, look at the bottom. The bottom is just searing, right? We're at about 400, 450 degree oven. We got a nice dome, nice heat over the dome. And you can see this side now is starting to color. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna let that color for probably another 5 seconds. And from there, what I do is I pick up the pizza from the side, never from the front, from the side. I bring the pizza out to the mouth. I turn it here half a turn back where I started cooking. We do that because we don't turn the pizza in the oven because we pick up any ash or any residue of flour or any ash on the ground. So by bringing it back out here, this part is clean, we turn it, we put it back.
So this part is always clean?
Yes. Again, pick up the pizza, bring it out, half a turn, back in.
So you turn it 3 times?
3 times I turn it. I give it one really quick lift and out, just to give a bit of heat to the pizza. 1.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, baby.
And without too much effort, we have ourselves a pizza.
Look at that.
Nice crust.
Nice.
Now remember this dough was made by hand, didn't use any machine. Okay, now when you use a machine, I believe you can get even a better result, right?
I guess
but we did this by hand. But what do we think? Do we go and you have a look at the bottom? Not burnt at all.
Is that what you want?
Dorata, just yes.
Wow. Okay. So you don't want to see black mark
No.
on the bottom.
Look at that. Look how evenly it's cooked on the bottom.
Even though it was 400 degrees.
Correct.
You didn't burn it.
Correct. Okay, so let's cut this pizza.
Johnny, this is the best part of the video. You know why?
Why?
Because we get to eat.
I can't wait.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I eat it?
Yep.
Oh, please, let's do it.
Let's go.
Here we go. Oh. So how do we eat the pizza napoletana?
We always get it, fold the end.
You do that,
Yep.
just like that,
Yep.
and then you close it.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers. That's what you call juiciness.
This is one of my favorite pizzas because I personally created this dough, and for me, it's the best way to make a homemade pizza, okay? It's a 72 hours pizza dough recipe. I know it sounds a lot, but you don't have to do much. 72 hours, 3 days of fermentation. All you have to do is to watch the dough and talk to the dough every now and then. This is how you make a fantastic 72 hours pizza. Guys, I did it. This is the best homemade pizza dough recipe I have ever created. Very proud of this, and I want you to try it and tell me that I'm right. It might look like a Napolitan pizza, but it's not. In Naples, they will never do a 72 hours fermentation, but I did it. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this beautiful creation. Fragrant. Listen to the crunch. Ready? 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 Now here we have this beautiful flour, right? Beautiful. Here is the water, cold water. What we're going to do, before we put the yeast in there, we are going to put a handful of flour in there. I'll tell you why. The reason why we're putting the flour in there is because we need to feed the yeast. We put the yeast inside. Now mix it. We want to activate the yeast, okay? The way I'm doing this recipe is different to, it's not Napolitan, and it's different to all the recipes I have, where pizza chefs normally start from the water and you add the dry into the water. This time, I'm gonna start from the dry and we add liquid into the dry. Okay, so here I've got salt and flour, which I mix. So with the other hand, I'm gonna add a little bit of water, a little bit at a time, okay? Please keep in mind your hands will be sticky for a while, okay? Because we're doing this by hand, it's gonna take a while before we have the dough ready. Maybe it will take about 10-15 minutes. So don't worry if your hands are sticky. Take your time. We add a little bit more water. But not all at once, okay? Please, not all at once. See, the hands are dirty, don't worry about it. Keep mixing. If you use a stand mixer, do the same process. Just add the water a little bit at a time, not all at once. Same, here we go. And this is the movement. See what I'm doing in my movement? I go like that. It's a bit dry, so we add more water. So it's starting to combine. All the ingredients are combining together. So we do this in the bowl at the moment. Actually, it's becoming a dough. Got more water to add, a little bit at a time. All right, at this point, if you come and have a look, I'm not going to need the dough in here anymore. I'm going to transfer the dough on the kitchen bench. The very sticky dough on the kitchen bench. Here it is. And I'm not adding any water or any flour, okay? It's sticky, very sticky. If you're really struggling, see how sticky it is? If you're really struggling, you can add a little bit more flour, but I do not recommend to do that. Just keep going. It's sticky. You keep going. I promise you, the dough will form. See, I like to do this, forward and back. Push forward and back. Use the palm of your hands. Push forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. See, when from here, pick it up and I rotate the dough. So then we start again. Forward and back. And pump. Try to be a little bit faster now, okay? I don't want to rest anymore. Now it's time to go hard. What we're going to do is place the dough back in the bowl. Now let's cover the dough with a damp cloth and we let it rest for at least half an hour, even 1 hour if you guys have time. Okay, after 30 minutes, let's get the damp cloth off. See, the dough is actually easier now to manage. So we're gonna get the dough out. I know it still looks sticky, but trust me, it's a lot easier to manage now, okay? There's no flour, there's no water, there's nothing, no oil, nothing involved at the moment, okay? See this? Look how easy it is to manage it now, look. See, it's not sticky. That little rest, see the 30 minutes rest, did this, look how beautiful and smooth it is. Even if you use the stand mixer, I will do this, okay? By hand or stand mixer, you do this. To be honest, another minute and this dough is done. Ready to go in the fridge. Okay, before we finish it off, there's one thing I like to do. And my friend Lucio and Johnny might not agree with me, is not Napolitan pizza. Let's get some extra virgin olive oil. We put some in here. And we just spread it all over the bowl. Let's get some extra virgin olive oil. Put on the pizza. Okay, now we need it again. Need it. And again, it's not Napolitan pizza. In a Napolitan pizza, you don't put extra virgin olive oil. But in this pizza dough, I always like to put something. Even if it doesn't do anything to the dough, mentally it makes me feel better. Now let's see if it bounces back. Ready? Bounce back straight away. Look, bounce back straight away. Now let's rest this dough in the bowl, right in there. And here's what we do. Damp cloth, and we cover it, okay? To be extra safe, because we don't want the dough to dry, plastic wrap, flat wrap, and we close one side. Now we also close these other sides. We don't want the hay to go through and dry our beautiful dough. What do we do now? We leave the dough out of the fridge for at least 2 hours. After 2 hours, 3 hours, it's okay. You just want the yeast to activate, the dough to start growing. We place it in the fridge. So overnight in the fridge, and tomorrow morning, before you have breakfast, you work out the dough. You knead the dough again. We made the dough yesterday, so for the next 2 days, we need to do this. We're gonna get the dough out. And what we're gonna do is, we're going to knead it again. We're going to reinforce it, okay? It's beautiful. It's silky, it's smooth. What we do now, put it back in there is I have a damp cloth, okay? Because we don't want the dough to get stuck to the plastic wrap anymore. Cover it like this. And now we seal it with a plastic wrap. We do not want our dough to dry up. Here we go. Now we do this side. Done. Your exercise for the morning is done. Now you make your coffee, make your breakfast, relax, take it easy, get ready, and just before you go out, you put this back in the fridge. The reason why is because now we want the dough to be in a warmer environment again, kind of wake up too, you know? And then just before you go out, when the dough is awakened, put it back in the fridge. And tomorrow, you do the same thing, okay? Only for tomorrow. You need to use 2 days. Today, tomorrow, because the day after tomorrow is the day we make the pizza, which means we need to make the pizza balls. Guys, it's day 3, almost 72 hours, and we are now ready to make the pizza balls. But listen carefully to this process, okay? You need to make the pizza balls 4 hours before you want to make pizza, okay? If you make it 5, 6, 7, 8 hours before, it's gonna be more difficult for you to work the pizza balls. Unless you're an expert, you're fine. But less than 4 hours, you can't really stretch them easily. You need to use a rolling pin, and we don't want to use a rolling pin. So 4 hours before you make the pizza, you make the pizza balls. And this is what we do. It's almost been 72 hours, 3 days. This dough is alive. Come closer, let's have a look. So, get this off. Ready? This is what a 3 days sleeping dough looks like. Look at that. Look how beautiful. It's nice, it's soft. Place the dough here. What we're gonna do now, I like to make 270 grams pizza balls. That's what I like to do. You wanna do 250 grams? Do it. 300 grams? It's okay. Now, here's how I make my pizza balls. I wanna make about 6 pizza balls. We got 220 grams. We got 270 grams. This is what I want for my pizza ball, okay? Something you should invest in, it's only about $20, $30. Get a pizza tray. You can get it online, and this will really change your life if you're a pizza lover. If you don't want to get the pizza tray, you can put some extra virgin olive oil in there. It's a bit too much. Went a bit overboard. You just need a little touch of extra virgin olive oil, not too much. That's enough. Spread it. You can put your pizza dough right in there, okay? This pizza ball will expand, will take over, it will grow, it will get longer. In 4 hours, we'll be ready to make a pizza. If you don't want to make a pizza today, you can put it in the fridge, okay? And you take it out 4 hours before you're ready to make pizza. So you can leave it in the fridge for a week. Now, I like to use these containers. They don't require any flour, they don't require any oil, nothing, okay? So, let's use those. I have no water, no flour on my hands, just this. The technique is this, a homemade technique. I do this. Here's what I do. Try to make the surface nice and smooth. And try to close the bottom. So the bottom, I want to close it, okay? I don't want the bottom to have any gaps. I want that to close. I'm going to put 6 pizzas in this tray. So that goes there. No flour, no oil, nothing. We have the pizza balls we just made, and these are the pizza balls after 4 hours, okay? What's gonna happen is after 5, 6, 7 hours, they will become more flat, more soft, probably even better. This is an easy technique for you guys, okay? Now, what we do with the fine semolina, we're gonna put some here on the side where we're gonna take the dough out, and some on the top. Now we're gonna get a scraper and we're gonna get the pizza out. The semolina will help. So do this so that every corner is not stuck anymore. Be gentle. Here we got it. And you wanna be quick. You wanna go straight on the semolina, just like that, okay? Now be quick, otherwise it's gonna get stuck. You don't want that. Now we put semolina on top, and be generous, don't be scared of the semolina. And we start pressing gently. See, it's stretching by itself. There's no rolling pin involved in this process. Look, the pizza is actually already stretched. I don't like to touch the edges because you actually want a very nice crust. So what we're doing right now, we're pushing all the gases to the edges. We're gonna have a beautiful crust. So in the middle here is where we're going to put the filling. If I get the pizza out, not only is not sticky, but I can really do what I want, okay? So I can go like this to get all the semolina out, and it's stretching more. See how much it's stretching? Now I've got two sides. I've got a rough side and I've got a smooth side. See that? What I like to do here, I like to have the smooth at the bottom and the rough here. So we're gonna cover the rough with the sauce. Now, the nice tomatoes. It's a very nice, generous. Can you see the fresh tomato? Can you see how nice it is? What I like to do now is to actually put the basil first. Be generous. Now we put the pecorino cheese, especially on top of the basil. We want to avoid the basil to burn when it's in the oven. Now we put the mozzarella, and I put it right on the basil, and then we put more everywhere else. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, and be generous. Do this to make sure the pizza is not stuck, and great, it's not stuck. It's 72 hours fermented pizza. And now we can go and cook it. Let's go. The oven is at 350 degrees Celsius and the pizza is ready to go in. Look at that. Ready? Put it right in the middle. Now, this pizza needs about 3 minutes to cook at 350 Celsius. What we do is the first time we put it in, we leave it in for about 45 seconds. As you can see, during this first part, the edges are starting to grow slowly. It's a slow process. We're not cooking this at 400, so it's gonna take more time. The pizza is gonna slowly cook. See the edges at the back are becoming puffier. So we got about 10 more seconds before we turn the pizza. All right, so the first 45 seconds have been done. The bottom is kind of half cooked. Now we rotate it and we do 30 seconds per side. As you can see, the side of the front here has been cooked for 45 seconds. So it probably needs about 5 more seconds to become leopard crust. Perfect. As you can see, still pale. See this side, it's almost ready, but not completely ready. Now we do 30 seconds on this side. It's nice to see the pizza cooking. It's actually a beautiful process. It's nice to see your creation being cooked by the oven. Get the pizza out. And now we got one more side. Okay, so I need this side, 30 seconds. Okay, great. So it's been about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Now what we're gonna do, the pizza is not completely ready. See, the leopard crust is not done. We're gonna do about 5 seconds per side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to boost it, you know. Turn it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this beautiful pizza is done very well. The cheese melted, it's not burned. The edges are beautiful and crunchy. A little bit pale here, so what we can do, we can put it back in the oven and just do this. I'm gonna go closer to the flame to make sure we get a nice leopard crust over there. And the pizza, to me, is it's ready. It looks like it's ready. Listen to the crunch. Listen to the crunch, listen. Ah, look at this beautiful dough. Look at that. Fragrant. Listen to the crunch. Ready? 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 A Another great pizza you must learn how to make is the no-knead Neapolitan recipe. Oh yeah, it's a no-knead Neapolitan recipe, which means everyone, and when I say everyone, I mean it, everyone can make it. You don't have to be a professional pizza chef. My friends from Naples have showed us the recipe, and here it is for you. This is a professional Neapolitan pizza, better than pizzerias, but it's made the easiest, most effortless way, right? Thanks to these guys here, to these masters.
Now, dumping the flour, the yeast, all the yeast, and also all the sea salt. That's the legend that salt and yeast, when you combine it together, they start to fight and someone kills someone else. That's not true. Do it easily and the pizza will come perfectly. So, combine all the flour, salt and yeast.
Once all the ingredients are mixed, we can start adding water.
All the water. Just roughly mix with your wooden spoon or a spoon or with your hands, everything you want.
There also is the Danish whisk, which is really handy because it comes with a big handle. So now what Vincenzo is doing is actually collecting the dough from the sides of the bowl and is making some folding, you see? He's collecting the dough and is folding.
A questo punto può essere un pochino più scomodo continuare la lavorazione con la cucchiarella. Quindi che cosa faccio? Inizio a lavorare l'impasto con le mani andando a raccogliere tutta la farina che è rimasta depositata sul fondo della boule. Vedete? Questa farina qua io devo catturarla tutta quanta, deve entrare proprio all'interno dell'impasto. Vado semplicemente a portarmi l'impasto verso il centro, catturando la farina che c'è sotto e facendo venire fuori le parti umide dell'impasto. Vedete, queste parti sono bagnate, non devo fare altro che farle entrare in contatto con questa farina che è rimasta qui sotto.
We just finished. Few minutes mixing with the spoon, just seconds mixing with your hand. The dough is not nice, there's no structure at all, but just wait, we are gonna cover our dough. You can cover it with a plate like this, or you can cover it with a plastic wrap, and then you place the dough in the fridge overnight. 10, 12 hours, 16 hours, that's okay. Put it in the fridge, and let's make the cold and the time work for us. And that's everything you need to do.
So the dough stayed in the fridge for how long? I can't remember.
All the night long. We have to fold this dough. Look at the texture.
Ooh.
So Vincenzo is gonna make it look nicer with some foldies, but look at the structure, how it changed.
Look at this.
And we didn't need at all.
Allora, guardate qua quanto si è sviluppata la maglia glutinica di questo impasto con una notte in frigorifero.
Look at this gluten structure, guys.
Ce lo allarghiamo.
He's opening the dough. So then you can make the fold. You fold like this, then this way.
And then the second half.
Put it in and put it in.
This is similar to the technique used to make croissant.
It's a baker technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stessa cosa qui.
It's called book folding, even if it doesn't look a book to me, but it's a book folding. And that's, in Italy we call it pirlatura, and that's the way they make panettone also.
You make your hand sliding just below the dough, and then you see, you pull it, and you twist it while you're pulling.
Look how smooth this dough became with just a few movements. It's like baby skin. We just made the easiest pizza dough ever. I mean, let's cover this dough with the bowl we used, but just a few minutes. I mean, like 15, 20 minutes. And then we can make the balls.
Ooh, look at this.
Look how smooth it is. Look how strong it became. It doesn't break at all. If you take a piece, you can see it becomes almost translucent. You see how thin it is? That means that dough is a good dough right now. Now we make the balls. Vincenzo, please make the balls for us.
To proof the balls, you can use a container like this or also a professional box like this.
Adesso andiamo a fare il cosiddetto staglio, cioè andiamo a porzionare il nostro impasto in delle palline di impasto da 250 a 260 grammi. Ci tagliamo una parte, in questo modo, e ce la andiamo a pesare.
Oh, wow, perfection.
Lo prendiamo dalla bilancia e chiudiamo il nostro impasto. Lo poggiamo sul tavolo e lo chiudiamo. Tiriamo, lo poggiamo sul tavolo e lo chiudiamo. È una tecnica semplicissima, alla portata di chiunque. Vedete, la pallina di pizza si sta creando da sola. Vedete? È lo stesso movimento che ho fatto quando abbiamo chiuso il nostro impasto, la stessa identica cosa, solo che in questo caso la facciamo sulla pallina di pizza, vedete? Ma è la stessa cosa, guardate, stesso movimento. E abbiamo creato la nostra pallina. Adesso mettiamo a riposare l'impasto in un contenitore del genere che si trova praticamente ovunque. Un consiglio che vi posso dare è di mettere un poco di olio alla base del contenitore, guardate, proprio una goccia. Così. E poi lo andiamo a spargere lungo tutta la superficie del nostro contenitore. Perché si mette quest'olio? Perché successivamente sarà più facile estrarre il panetto da dentro il contenitore. Lo posizioniamo qui, lo copriamo per non far seccare il nostro impasto. Così.
Now the dough will wait here 4 hours before it becomes a pizza. So make sure you make the pizza balls at least 4 hours before making pizzas at room temperature, because that's the important time that will help to proof the dough as we want. And this is the dough ball after 4 hours. As you can see, probably doubled in size. This means that it's actually time to cook it.
Look how soft it is. It looks like jelly.
Allora, vi faccio vedere come estrarre il panetto dal contenitore. Prendiamo un pochino di semola e la mettiamo nelle giunture, vedete? In questo modo. Per la stesura utilizzo della semola rimacinata di grano duro, ok? Ma si può anche utilizzare della farina bianca di grano tenero, va benissimo. Giro il panetto e lo posiziono sopra la semola. Vedete? Avendo messo l'olio, guardate come si stacca facilmente dal contenitore.
Guarda quante belle bolle che ha fatto questo impasto.
Questo è proprio il sintomo di una corretta lievitazione dell'impasto. Giriamo il panetto sulla semola, in questo modo, lo giriamo nuovamente e iniziamo la stesura. Per cui la stesura la iniziamo dalla parte inferiore del panetto. Perché? Perché è la parte più morbida, più rilassata. Affondiamo le dita con molta delicatezza, portando l'aria verso il cornicione. Vedete? Andiamo prima dal basso verso l'alto e poi torniamo giù ripetendo la stessa identica operazione. A questo punto possiamo girare il panetto e ripetiamo la stessa operazione, quindi dal basso verso l'alto e poi torniamo giù. La pizza ha già preso una sua forma, abbiamo il cornicione e la parte centrale invece più sottile. Ora, per completare la stesura dobbiamo rimuovere tutta la semola che è rimasta attaccata alla pizza, quindi la semola non deve andare all'interno del forno. La semola oppure la farina di grano tenero che utilizzate, va bene tutto. Prendiamo quindi la pizza, rimuoviamo tutta la semola da sotto, guardate quanta semola cade. Il tavolo deve essere pulito, siccome l'impasto è molto morbido, non essendo stato impastato, si stenderà praticamente da solo, vedete? Lo vado ad allargare leggermente con i dorsi delle mani e lo porto sul piano di lavoro. La pizza è stesa. Ora passiamo al condimento. Il condimento deve essere il più rapido possibile perché la pizza non deve attaccarsi sul piano di lavoro. Piccolo trucchetto, andiamo a mettere un pochino di pomodoro anche sul bordo, proprio un'ombra, vedete? Perché in questo modo la pizza sbollerà di più. Avremo un cornicione ancora più pronunciato. Vedete, me lo sporco così, vedete, con il dorso del cucchiaio. Il basilico lo mettiamo sotto a tutto. Perché? Perché dobbiamo evitare che vada a bruciarsi poi all'interno del forno. il formaggio,
Pecorino romano.
che va proprio a proteggere il basilico, vedete, in questo modo.
You can use also Parmigiano Reggiano if you want.
Il fior di latte, anche in questo caso, cerchiamo di posizionarlo proprio sopra il basilico, di modo che vada a proteggerlo, altrimenti il basilico si annerisce.
Are you a perfectionist?
Sì, leggermente, un po'.
And most importantly, it doesn't make any holes in the dough ball.
Terminiamo con un giro d'olio. Perfetto. La pizza può andare in forno.
First of all, let's check the oven.
This is a semi-professional oven.
Yes, we are at 432 Celsius.
Okay, so if you have a wood fire oven,
It's even better. Take a peel like this, pinch the pizza, put the peel under the pizza, stretch a bit more. Let's make the pizza round. And then, like Vito Jacopelli, our friend, says, one shot. Close it. This is an electric oven, so we need to turn the pizza just once. Of course, if you have a wood burning oven, you have to rotate the pizza. We are now at almost 420 Celsius, and 60-90 seconds, the pizza will be ready.
look at
Look at the
cornicione.
crust. Look how it grows.
You can start seeing the little leopard spotting appearing, showing up.
Wow, bellissima. Bellissima.
Turn like this, right back in the oven.
Where's the mozzarella from?
Montilattari from Sorrento. Okay, wow.
Wow.
Pizza is ready.
Wow.
So, we're gonna put it on our Vincenzo's plate. Look at the crust, how golden brown it is. Look at the leopard spot behind. I'm gonna add fresh basil on top. Basil is never enough.
Some cooked, some fresh.
Some fresh basil. Maybe if you want, you can also add a little bit of olive oil on top. I think that the perfect Napolitan pizza is not perfect because it's an artisan product. It's so soft. You know, it's like breathing.
Ooh.
You see this? You see these bubbles? It means that the dough proofed correctly, and also in the slice you have bubbles. You see?
Bellissimo.
You see the tunnel?
Yes.
The best part is that we made it without any effort. I mean, you just mix a bit flour and water and yeast and salt. That's it.
The effortless dough.
Hey, we have 4 big slices.
We are four.
Which
We have 4 big mouths.
So come on, let's have it. Come on.
Come on.
Ready? Bellissimo.
This is the perfect slice, and this is the perfect bite.
Capito what it is? Huh? Vincenzo, fatto un bel lavoro, bravo.
Perfetta.
Bravo.
Pizza cin.
Well done. Cin cin. Cin,
Buon
cin,
appetito,
cin,
voglio.
cin. Ah. Last but not least, maybe we kept the best to last, maybe, is the panuozzo. A pizza that is becoming very famous around the world. It's basically a leftover pizza dough. What do we do with leftover pizza dough? We create the panuozzo, the best panini on the planet. And this is how my friend Lucio makes it. I think nobody makes it better than Lucio. I've tried so many panuozzo, but Lucio, he makes it a super authentic Napolitan way. And you will be amazed. This is how Lucio makes it. This panuozzo is panino on steroids from Naples. Lucio grew up eating this, and he wants everyone in the world growing up eating this too.
Absolutely.
Are you ready to eat it? Come on, show us how to make it, Lucio.
We always start to dissolve the salt first. We add a little bit of flour. At this stage, we add the yeast. We let it dissolve. So with this recipe, we're able to do probably 3 big panuozzo. We're gonna make a pizza bowl out of it around 250 grams. And we're gonna achieve 3 panuozzo sandwich. So we let it rest with a damp cloth, and in 2 hours we make the pizza bowl.
Pizza bowl.
So at this stage, once the dough is rested for 2 hours, that's when we uncover the dough and we start to make the actual bowl. Now, each of these bowls will be 250 grams, which is big size panuozzo, probably around 30 centimeter. So we uncover the dough. We start to cut the dough long way, like is in a salami shape, and we start to make the bowl. So to make the bowl, it's exactly the same how we would make a pizza bowl. Yeah. We roll it. We make sure that the closure underneath is well closed. Once you make the pizza bowl, you put it in a container. Has to be airtight, and you let it rest at room temperature for around 20-22 hours. There we go. We put a little bit on the flour, and then we shape it. Always nice and gentle. You see, the dough is always nice and soft. And then we drizzle a little bit with olive oil. A little bit of oregano. And now it's ready to put it in the oven. So at this stage, once we shape the panuozzo, what we do, we bake it in a wood fire oven, nice and hot. It's around 430 degrees. We let it puff up, and then once the dough is puffed up, we pull it out of the oven, we cut it, and we fill it. The second baking, we put it right in front of the oven where the temperature is very much lower. Yeah, so you can also cook the panuozzo in electric oven, and I will show you how to do it. So we take the pizza shovel, we put the panuozzo on top of it, and we bake it in the oven. Yeah, there we go, guys. This is the first look. Yeah, the first look has to have obviously cooked in a wood fire oven. This sort of color. It is at this stage soft everywhere, but once we bake it again, it will be on the bottom, all around the edge. It will be crunchy because we're gonna cook at very low temperature. So the edge will be crunchy, the middle will be soft. Then we cut it halfway. It's very hot, guys, but I can smell the bread. And this is what I'm looking for. This is perfect. Questa è la mollica e ce la mangiamo. So we're gonna cook the panuozzo in electric oven. Not everybody has a wood fire oven at home, and
Temperature.
I believe every domestic oven has, the maximum you can reach is 250 degrees. So put your oven at the maximum temperature, nice and hot, yeah? Now if you have a baking tray, one of these, you can use this one. However, if you have a stone, it's even better. So if you have a stone, use a stone and put the dough straight on the stone. Otherwise, put the dough on aluminum tray. Drizzle olive oil on top, a touch of oregano, and let's bake it in the oven. Put it at 250 degrees, and let's see, yeah? probably will take around 10 minutes.
Oh, wow, look at the difference of the one you made in the electric oven and the wood fire oven.
Yes, it's quite a big difference.
Yes.
The first bake, it is quite pale. It is cooked inside,
Yeah, okay.
obviously. It's still smoking.
Yeah.
So whoever, for those people that they have a fan forced, I would recommend put a fan force mode.
Maximum temperature.
Maximum temperature, which I believe any domestic oven is around 250.
Celsius, yeah. Lucio, now it's time to fill them up, okay?
Ah,
So
can't
show
wait.
us how to fill them up like a Napolitan, please.
Absolutely.
What ingredients do we need now?
Okay, so obviously with panuozzo, as we said, all it is a pizza dough shaped in a long way and filled with wherever you like. Yeah, you can have a ham and cheese. You can have the good thing about it is there is so much variety, so many choices. Feel free to fill it up with whatever ingredients you have. Today we're gonna have 3 types of panuozzo. So let's start to filling the first panuozzo. We're gonna add some cheese.
Da provolone.
That's provolone.
Provolone.
Yep. And then we had a bit of some friarielli, which I love
You
them.
can't get friarelli, you just use
Broccoli rape.
broccoli rape.
Yeah, broccoli rape. They're very nice.
You can use
I love
broccolini
broccoli.
if you don't find this.
You can use broccolini, yeah. And then we're gonna add a bit of sausage. Now, guys, sausage, you can cut it in any shape you like. You can even put the sausage once it's cooked. You cut it in half, the sausage. And then, you know what? Let's add a bit of parmesan and so. What do you reckon? Yeah?
Bellissimo.
And maybe a little bit of olive oil. First one done. We just need to bake it in the oven, make sure the cheese is melted, close it up, cut it.
So you're gonna you close it after it's melted.
After, now we're gonna put it in the oven as it is. So the second one we're gonna do with mozzarella, fresh rocket, prosciutto, and cherry tomato. However, what we're gonna do, here we're gonna have 2 stages. All we're gonna add at this stage is just the mozzarella and a few cherry tomatoes around. We let the mozzarella melt. Once the mozzarella is melt, and then that's when we add the fresh rocket on top, the prosciutto on top, and the sandwich is ready. Drizzle of olive oil.
Nice.
The last one, which is the mozzarella and pancetta. Again, guys, use your own fantasy. Eh? This is the beauty of this sandwich. We let it melt, and then we add the pancetta in it. I like after, because the heat of the pancetta, you know, the heat. Sorry,
So
the heat.
this is a sliced pancetta.
This
like a
is
prosciutto.
very yeah, like a prosciutto, very thin sliced pancetta. You can use this one, you can use even the round one.
You can cook it if you want.
You can cook it if you want, but I like it to put it after. The heat of the panuozzo, it will cook the pancetta through. There we go, guys. So this one is baked in electric oven. Let's fill with, again, we do salsicce e friarielli, and we can compare the one cooked in electric oven and a wood fire oven. Put some friarielli at the top. Little sausage. Little parmesan. And again, a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Adesso si mangia. Okay, Enzo, so the first panuozzo, we're gonna cook the salsicce friarielli. Again, we're gonna rebake in a wood fire oven. However, we have to make sure that the second stage, we're gonna put the panuozzo right here, yeah? Not all the way in, because all the way in, probably the temperature is a little bit too hot. So we want to make sure that the panuozzo is right at the front of the oven. We want to make sure that the cheese is well melted. Electric oven, so basically the second stage, put the electric oven on a grill mode. Leave the panuozzo open as like a butterfly. Leave the panuozzo open. Let the ingredients melt. Once the cheese is melted, close it up. Leave it, let it cook for another few minutes until it's golden brown at the top. We put the calzone a bocca di forno here, and we start to cook it slowly. Yeah, we can see that slowly the cheese it will melt, and we need to cook all around it. We need to make sure the cheese is melted. We need to make sure that the edge is nice and crunchy, crispy. This will take around a few minutes. Yeah, probably
if I put this in the oven now, I'll burn everything, right?
It will burn everything, and you know, you don't get the right consistency. You really want to make sure that every single part of the panuozzo is nice, hot. The friarielli, they're nice and hot. The cheese will melt because it's very thin sliced, you know?
It's melting very fast,
Yeah. Guys, we're gonna put these in the oven, in electric domestic oven, under the grill for, let's say, 5 minutes. Okay guys, so at this stage what we do, we're gonna close the panuozzo. We're gonna give it a nice gentle press down, and we let it cook a little bit more. Yeah. The last 10 seconds I'm gonna put it inside for a nice golden brown color. It's ready. The saltimbocca, the cheese is melted. It's ready to go. We just need a little bit of a color. As you can see, we're getting the color. Yeah. You see? And so this before was white, like this sort of color. Now it's getting a golden brown color.
The cheese is melting.
And the cheese is melted already.
Yeah.
So all we are achieving here, the golden brown color. Yeah. You see, Enzo?
Bellissimo.
You see, Enzo? This is the color that we want to achieve.
Yes.
Nice golden brown color, crispy.
So you achieved what you wanted to achieve.
All right, so at this stage we're gonna close it up. Yeah, give it a little bit of a color at the top. And let's leave it there for another 2 minutes. Okay guys, this is exactly what I was looking for. As you can see, the color is completely different. Here we're gonna get a nice golden brown color. Here is halfway cooked. The crunchiness, can you hear the crunchiness? Yeah, and when we open, we should be able to see all the cheese that is melted inside. And the smell, beautiful. Oh my God, then so, mamma guarda. So what we got here? We got the panuozzo con mozzarella, cherry tomato, rucola e prosciutto crudo. So what we're trying to achieve here, we just need to melt the mozzarella. Once the mozzarella is melted, that's when we're gonna add the fresh rocket and the prosciutto on top. Okay, yeah. So let's start melting the mozzarella, and then this one, same thing, but with pancetta. All right, so we're gonna leave it there for a few minutes. All right, let's go and open the oven here. There we go, guys. Yeah.
Looks nice, Lucio.
It looks nice.
I mean, it's not a wood
Obviously,
oven.
it's not a wood fire oven, but you know, for those people that they don't have a wood fire oven at home, they can still achieve. Let me take this out because it's really hot.
The crunchiness. Yeah, it's there. The crunchiness is there.
Let's see the cheese. The
melted cheese is there. Bellissimo.
All right. So if you do have a party home, you can still achieve a panuozzo saltimbocca or
This is nice to serve nice and warm. But
it's nice to serve nice and warm. The second one ready, and we place right here. So we got the father of the salsicce friarielli and the son.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, wow, Lucio. Wow, man.
And what we do? Can I put the pancetta in?
Please. What is that now?
That's pancetta, and so nice and abundante. Let's not be shy on the pancetta.
Oh, no. Abbondanza. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. And then the second one.
Crunchy. Listen to the crunch. Pasta crunch taste. The second one, open it again.
Which one is this one? This is rocket and prosciutto. Can I put some rocket on top of it?
Arugula.
Arugula. Yeah. And then we're gonna put a few slices of prosciutto. I'm gonna close it.
Now.
And now we got the salsicce friarielli already.
You excited, Lucio?
I'm very excited. Adesso si mangia sul serio.
La stazione radio stamattina vive in una grande agitazione.
Per un grave fatto si indovina, sono tutti in apprensione.
Ingegneri tecnici ed attuali.
I like the crunchiness.
So this is what filling is it? This one?
This is the
Salsicce friarielli, and so
yes. Vai, Lucio.
let's do it.
Come on, Lucio, let's do it.
Mamma mia.
Look at that. Look how pretty. Look at the bottom, the leopard crust.
And so try.
Look at his face. Look
Try,
at his face.
try.
Look.
Try. Get, try to get the bite with all the ingredients in it.
Guys, did you enjoy my 5 favorite pizzas to make at home? Please, write a comment below. Let me know which one was your favorite, huh? If I can choose one, I would say the panuozzo is pretty special, just because I know Lucio, you know. The 72 hours pizza is close to my heart. I made it for you. The Napolitan pizza, it's a classic. So you go wrong with that, right? But then the Roman pizzas, on the other hand, it's beautiful. And then you have unknown Napolitan pizza. Oh my God, so hard to choose. Tell me now, which one you prefer? Ciao guys, see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia. Vincenzo's Plate.